So as many of you probably heard of, the Katie Hobbs v. Kari Lake lawsuit election contest in the state of Arizona, their hearing has just concluded yesterday. Now, we're waiting a couple days to see what will the judge order, what will be the ramifications of this hearing, this election contest that happened in Arizona. But today I wanted to delve deep into what happened on day 2, why is it critical, what was said, what were some of the witnesses, all that good stuff, because I think day 2 may have been actually a better day for Lake's legal team than the first. I know, the first day was pretty strong, but the second day, the defense made a lot of mistakes. That's the best way to describe it. Now, before we continue, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel today. Guys, you know what to do. Click that join button down below and help support the daily content. We all love that daily content, so I hope you join today. Alright folks, let's get into it. The Arizona governor election contest. Day 2 concluded yesterday. And again, like I said, we won't probably know the ruling until the 27th. That's my guess when we will get the ruling from the judge. But day 2, boy oh boy, it was a fascinating day. Now the first day, it was the plaintiff's witnesses. The second day, there was one more plaintiff witness to come on the stand today, or I should say yesterday, but it was mostly defendants' witnesses that came on the stand. So the plaintiff's witness for today, or I should say yesterday, was, I kid you not, Richard Barris. Look, a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, his polling was terrible in 2022, and I will say some of the polls were bad from his front. I'm not denying that. But still, compared to the median pollster, he was more accurate than a lot of these other pollsters. Plus, one pollster got 2022 right. So, I think this was just an off year for a lot of these people. Yes, you can make the assumption Barris had some bad polls. Not denying that, but still, he is better than a lot of these data people, these quote-unquote data people. And he testified that he conducted an exit poll, not affiliated with the Kari Lake campaign, on election day and before election day. And before we continue, disclaimer, not alleging the F word, not alleging any of that at all. I have my opinions on it. I may say this may have been intentionally done, but I don't, F word we won't discuss, alright? But you get the point, not saying it's the F word, just saying this was what was stated in this hearing, alright? I'm not, saying this is my opinion, though I have some opinions on it. This is what was said. So Richard Barris talked about how he conducted exit poll in the state of Arizona. And his exit poll found something fascinating. So 93% of voters that said they would vote early, by mail, etc., they finished the exit poll, right? Which Richard Barris has said that's usual. Around 10% of voters that say they're going to vote, and conduct the exit poll, they tend to not, all right? They tend not to, for whatever reason. But for the election day voters, this is where it gets fascinating. 30% of those that said they were going to vote on election day, or, we're going to conduct the exit poll, etc., they never finished the exit poll. 30%. That's a lot of voters. And Barris kind of assumed you do some basic math in Maricopa. That was from Maricopa alone, I think. But he did the math. That could mean upwards of 40,000 election day voters, which we have evidence, heavy Republican voters. They never voted. And he also asked, did you experience significant problems in election day? And the defense had some dumb questions for Barris, like, I think it was like 70% or something like that said they had a problem. I could be off by a bit. But either way, it may have been 30, 40, I can't remember. But it was a significant amount of voters that finished the exit poll said they experienced major problems, whether it was tabulated failures, long wait times, etc. But the defense, I don't know, I'm no legal expert. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I said in the first video, I just know some of the basics. But why on earth would you say, oh, well, you didn't specify if this was long wait times, tabulator issues, issues with voter ID, issues with provisional ballots, etc. So, essentially, the defense is saying there could have been 6,000 problems on election day, not necessarily tabulator issues. Which, think about that for a second. They said there are, basically 500 other issues, but it may have not been this one specific issue. That doesn't make your case sound good. It makes it sound more incompetent. How can you seriously say, oh, well, you see here, X, X, and X may have been not the case, but there's 500 other potential reasons? That doesn't help your case. It makes it seem a bit worse to the judge. And there were some other stupid questions, like they talked about, oh, you're not on 538. And if you notice, look at the judge when they said this. The judge kind of shook his head. Like, what? So if you don't know, they're basically saying, oh, well, you're not on 538. That means you're illegitimate. Yeah, they use that as a reason. So overall, Barris, he had some problems this cycle. He was actually a strong witness for the plaintiff. Now, he was the final plaintiff witness. Now, the defense brought up their witnesses, and considering the fact they had quite a while to get witnesses, if this was the best they got, dear Lord. So the first bozo, of course, was from Madison, Wisconsin. Of course, my great state of Wisconsin. No! Stop putting a bad name in the great state of Wisconsin. This clown is apparently a legal expert, election expert, cybersecurity expert. Yeah, he called himself an expert in everything, and he wanted to be preferred as doctor because he's a PhD. Whoop-de frickin' do. But point is, he said, oh, according to Maricopa County, there weren't long wait times. In fact, there was no major issues that happened. Plus, Richard Barris used the incorrect math and all of this other garbage. Again, I recommend you watch the hearing. It was pathetic with some of these witnesses, but the guy pretty much used the math the defense made up out of thin air to debunk Barris's argument. Yeah, they made up math on the spot. They said, well, this is what your math says. It's like, no, that's not what Barris said at all. And the plaintiffs slapped back hard in cross-examination. They were like, okay, so where do you get these numbers from for wait times? Oh, I got them from Maricopa. Did you verify these numbers? No. Did you verify any other sources' data? No. So this expert didn't verify any of his data. He just copied and pasted it from the Maricopa website onto a paper and called the report. Yeah, these are the doctors in America now. Give me a freaking break. But the guy was a complete bozo, and he was a terrible witness for the defense. I mean, some of the things he said, and when he called Richard Barris' math out, the plaintiffs, when they cross-examination, were like, okay, what was it? It was like 40,000 divided by, like, the entire vote in Maricopa, and he said around 3%, maybe less than 3%, which was exactly what Barris said. So the guy debunked his own math they said was the correct math 5 seconds prior. So the witness was terrible. The other guys, there weren't really any more significant witnesses for the defense outside of two more. One was a guy that actually testified the day before. He was, I can't remember the guy's name, Jarrett? All I will say is a guy committed perjury. He said the day before they didn't know any issues with ballots, etc. Well, today he said, well, we found actually 3 locations during our investigation that had, ballot image problems, fit to stretch or fit to print, whatever it's called. But the day before he testified, they found nothing. Think about that. He testified the day before and said there weren't any serious problems. And on top of that, he admitted on the stand that technicians were easily able to change the printer settings in many of these places. Not what I'm saying, YouTube. That's what the guy that testified on the stand said. He flat out admitted the technicians were easily able to change the settings. And he claimed only 3 centers had these problems with print to fit. Guess what? A witness yesterday testified of the 6 locations he examined random ballots. 6 random locations. All 6 had problems with 19-inch image on 20-inch ballots. You know what I said yesterday? Essentially, this caused the tabulator machines not to read the votes correctly. And this was 6 locations. The guy said only 3. So 6 out of 6 locations they examined had that problem. Seems like a very good witness for the defense. And the other guy, the only reason I'm mentioning him as well, he read from a script. Go watch the footage. He's clearly looking at the side, reading a script. And he was in person the day before, but he was on a Zoom call the day after. Yeah, day 1 he was in court. Day 2 he was on a Zoom call like a door away. Really? So yeah, it's quite obvious he was reading a script. Go watch the footage yourself. It was gold. When I saw that, I laughed. So either way, that was the witnesses. The closing arguments, the defense had a terrible argument. They pretty much said, oh, it's Kari Lake's campaign's fault for telling people to vote on Election Day. I'm not kidding. That's their defense. They've waited till Election Day to vote. That's their problem. What a terrible defense. Look, I'm no legal expert, but even I know. Why? Why present that as your closing statement? Now, the plaintiffs, they did a pretty solid closing argument. They hit all the right cards. They focused how a bunch of the witnesses the defense had, they committed perjury, or they faked their data, or they didn't even verify it. They admitted there were serious problems with the tabulator machines, etc., etc., etc. So that was the closing statements. And the question is this. What's going to come of this? Again, I said yesterday, I think there's like a 20% chance something actually comes from this. I'm still at 20%. Reason being is, you are essentially asking a judge to do something that basically no judge in America does. Order a new election. That type of stuff. I mean, it's happened, but it's rare. That's why I'm saying it's still unlikely. But in my opinion, based on what I saw, the plaintiffs proved their case. And in a just legal system, they would win. We just got to see. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below. Subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.